and community minister for Lufkin Central. And to start off our week in our Jesus and Coffee morning devotional, I want to take us to Matthew chapter 5. Yesterday in our Bible class, we were in chapter 4, looking specifically at verse 19, the call that Jesus has, where he says to his first disciples to come follow me, and I will make you fishers of men, that I will cause you to become those who are living for something greater than yourself, right? And so the as as we venture throughout this section in Scripture in Matthew chapter 4, we then see how Jesus, goes throughout Galilee, teaching in the synagogues, and then you get to chapter 5, the Beatitudes. And what I love about this is, just as Jesus causes the disciples to have a new behavior, there's this, even kind of in this sense, there's this new way, or this new attitude, new way of thinking of certain events and certain moments in our lives that in many circumstances, like we've experienced right now, that when we find ourselves in a season of trial and a season of difficulty, the way that we respond in these moments, right, the way that we react to them is not always a wholesome way to react at times, if we're honest, right? I mean, we there's many times where we wish, man, I probably could have handled that a little bit better. And so this attitude that we have, this way of reacting, this way of responding, this way of living in the midst of these moments, Jesus is not only seeking to make these first disciples into something that will be about kingdom, those who will be about kingdom work. He's not just seeking that in the eventual 12 close followers that he has. He's seeking to bring this about in all of humanity. And so when you get to chapter 5, what's known as the Sermon on the Mount, we read this, starting in verse 3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when others revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. And what is interesting in the sense of when I say how we responded before to how we respond now in this teaching, what we have is some, as it's been described by some, it's kind of the exact opposite of what you expect, of a response that you expect, right? Uh, you're poor, you're going to inherit something. You're poor in spirit, you're going to inherit the kingdom. You're going through mourning, the season of mourning, you're going to be comforted. You're uh, you're humble, you're meek, all these kind of, I mean, you don't have much, you're going to inherit much. You know, all these kind of things. It's almost the reaction that we wish that would come about in our lives, if we're honest, in those moments that we wish somebody would. And man, it would just be nice if somebody would recognize what's happening in this moment, what our family's going through, that they would see the pain that we're in, and they would step in. We don't want to reach out and ask for help, but we would really love for somebody to step in and see and recognize what's happening in our lives. See, this is what's being spoken here. Is God through Jesus is saying, I see you. I see what's happening. Now here's what you need to do about it. You then need to take what you have experienced and be that for somebody else, and see them and hear them, not in the way of just hearing noise, but hear their hurts, hear their pains, hear their sorrows, and speak into those moments. Be Jesus in those moments. That we, as we create this new attitude of how we respond to those things, of understanding that powerful statement that where God says, never will I leave you, never will I forsake you, that means something to us. That when we find ourselves mourning, what that means is we're going to experience the comfort of God. And hey, take that over to 2 Corinthians chapter 1. Those who receive comfort, it's so that you can comfort someone else. Talked about that a few days ago. So as we think about this, here's your challenge for today. I challenge you to see someone, to recognize, no, not just see somebody, stranded on the side of the road, although that, it's you have a choice to make in that moment of how you can help. Not just see somebody that is homeless and, pull over and give them some money, or give them, like I do. I have these snacks and some water and a gift card to Chick-fil-A that I give out. Not just see and do something like that, although that's an important thing. That's a way to bless somebody else. But see how you can be Jesus in not just giving a hand out, but giving a hand up. One of the things that I like to do is, I have a conversation. I ask them their name, tell them my name. I have a card that I give them that has my number on it, and I tell them, you need anything, reach out to me. Let me know. Any way that I can help, I will do what I can. I'll do what I can to meet that need that you have. But ultimately, I tell them what I do and who I am and why I do what I do. Because God is who he claims to be. And that God is very real. That God is ever present in this life. So how can you be Jesus for someone else today? A little something to think about. Y'all have a great day. God bless.